The mining colony on Moon 17 was always busy. Big machines worked day and night. Miners laughed, argued, and called home to Earth. It was a small place, but full of life. Then, everything changed in one moment. At 3:42 Standard Time, Earth Control received a strange distress signal. The voice was shaky, broken by static. Then came three final words before silence. "They are here." No one knew what it meant. The signal was from New Stone, a human colony set deep in the Illyris sector. It was not a war zone. There were no known enemies nearby. The area had always been peaceful. Earth Control tried to contact the colony again. No response. They sent messages for hours. Nothing came back. No voices. No data. Just silence. General Harris, head of space security, stood in the command room, staring at the large holomap. New Stone was marked in red. "This makes no sense," he said. "We just talked to them yesterday." All systems were green. His assistant, Major Yelena, looked worried. "Do we send in a fleet?" "No," Harris replied. "Not yet. First, send one patrol ship. Just one." The Hawkeye, a small human recon ship, left Earth orbit 6 hours later. It had 5 crew members. Their job was simple: fly to New Stone, check for trouble, and report back. As the Hawkeye reached the edge of the Illyris sector, everything seemed normal. Stars shone bright. No enemy signals. No signs of battle. But when they came close to Moon 17, something felt wrong. The colony was dark. No lights. No movement. No radio signals. It looked like a ghost town from space. "Are the power systems down?" asked Captain Drew, the ship's commander. "No, sir," said Lieutenant Juno. "Scans show power is still running. But there are no life signs. Not one." They sent a drone down to the surface. The drone flew through the colony streets. Everything looked untouched. No signs of attack. No fire. No damage. But there were no people. Then the drone saw something. Blood. A long trail of it, starting near the food hall and ending at a large metal wall. On that wall, someone had written in red, "We were warned." The crew on the Hawkeye fell silent. Suddenly, the ship's systems began to flicker. "What's happening?" shouted Captain Drew. "We're being scanned," yelled Juno. "But I don't know by what. It's not human." The screens turned black. Lights dimmed. And then, the feed cut out. Back on Earth, General Harris stared at the empty screen. The Hawkeye was gone. No message, no escape signal, just like the colony. Panic spread in the Earth Council. News leaked. People asked questions. Who took the colony? What happened to the patrol ship? Why was there no warning? Some said it was a new alien enemy. Others believed it was a weapon, something that erases life silently. The Council sent scouts to nearby systems. All were quiet. Nothing new. Nothing strange. But then, one deep space satellite picked up a signal. It was weak and broken. Engineers worked for hours to clean it up. The message played once on every Earth screen. A child's voice. A whisper. "They are not like us. They are old, and they are hungry." That same day, the stars near Illyris flickered strangely. A few astronomers noticed patterns in the light. Signals, perhaps. No one could decode them. 3 days later, Earth received a strange gift. A small pod appeared in Earth's orbit. It had no engines, no heat, just a metal box floating slowly toward the planet. Earth military took no chances. They pulled it in carefully, scanned it, then opened it in a shielded lab. Inside was a recorder from the Hawkeye. Only one file survived. The video showed Captain Drew. He was hurt, bleeding. Behind him, lights flashed red. His voice was weak. "They are not ships. They are alive. We didn't understand. We thought we were the hunters." He looked straight into the camera. "We were wrong. They're not coming. They're already here. Then the screen turned black. General Harris stood before the council. "This is not an attack," he said. "It's a message." "What do you mean?" asked one ambassador. "They didn't take the colony to win a war," Harris replied. "They did it to show us what they can do. Without noise, without warning, without mercy." Someone whispered, "Then what should we do?" Harris looked up. "We stop waiting. We prepare for." Rain sat inside his stealth ship, watching the stars move past. His armor was scratched. His hands were bloody. But he didn't care. One mercenary base was down. Many enemies were dead. But the real monster, the one who paid for the attack on New Aurora, was still free. He remembered Drex's words. "We were hired. A private buyer. Name's Varnak. Operates out of the Red Rings. He wanted chaos. Civilian deaths." Rain's jaw tightened. This wasn't just a pirate raid. This was something bigger. "Kira," he said quietly, "take us to the Red Rings." The Red Rings were a lawless zone in deep space. 5 massive space stations formed a ring around a dead star. No governments, no rules, just criminals, black markets, and bounty hunters. The perfect place for someone like Varnak to hide. But hiding wouldn't help now. As Rain's ship approached, Kira gave an update. "Target located. Station 4. Name: Varnak Seath. High-value arms dealer. Protected by a private army." Rain leaned forward. "Security level. Heavily armed. Biometric locks, drones, guards, and off-world mercs." Rain smiled coldly. "Then I'll bring the storm." Varnak sat in his private lounge. He was a thick, scaly alien with glowing yellow eyes and gold rings on every finger. 2 bodyguards stood near him. Expensive armor. Heavy weapons. But he looked nervous. He had heard the news. The Black Maw. Destroyed. Drex. Missing. And worse, a name whispered again after years of silence. Project Revenant. The human weapon. The ghost soldier. The nightmare from Earth's secret labs. Varnak lit a cigar with shaking hands. He wouldn't come here. He wouldn't dare. Then the lights flickered. The station rumbled. On the outer shell of Station 4, a silent pod attached. A hole melted through the metal. A black shape crawled through. Fast, quiet, deadly. Rain moved through shadows. He didn't blast his way in. He infiltrated, room by room, hallway by hallway. Guards disappeared without a sound. Drones shut down mid-flight. Cameras showed nothing but static. Panic spread fast. By the time the alarm sounded, it was already too late. Varnak stared at the feed. One by one, his defenses were falling. "Bring all guards to me," he shouted. "Seal the room." But even his strongest guards couldn't stop what was coming. The lights went out. In the dark, something moved. A loud crack, then silence. When the emergency lights turned red, 5 guards lay unconscious. Rain stood in the middle of the room, visor glowing red. "You hired the mercs," he said. Varnak tried to back away. "I had a deal. I paid for distraction, not blood. I didn't ask them to hit civilians." "You gave the order," Rain said, walking forward. "You're just as guilty. I can pay. I can give you anything. Credits, weapons, information." Rain stopped right in front of him. "Then start talking." Minutes later, Rain walked out of the smoke-filled room. Behind him, Varnak lay unconscious, tied and gagged. "Kira," he said, "send a message to Earth Command. They can collect Varnak." "Understood," Kira replied. "Did he give us anything?" Rain nodded. "He named the real mastermind." "Who?" Rain looked at the stars. "A High Lord from the Galactic Trade Council. Codename: Iron Voice." Back on Earth, Elia slowly opened her eyes. Machines beaked around her. Nurses whispered. She blinked. "Dad," she said softly. But he wasn't there yet. Not until he finished what he started. "Lieutenant," he said, "you know what to do." Nova nodded. "I do." She took a deep breath and closed her eyes for a moment, then pressed a series of buttons on her console. "We may not win this," she said softly, "but we'll make sure they remember us." Across the galaxy, Earth's fleet had made its move. The remaining ships, though few, were still carrying out their mission. They were all facing the One, and they were all ready to make the ultimate sacrifice. And that was exactly what they did. The final plan was simple, yet desperate. The humans would launch everything they had left at the One. All remaining weapons, all remaining power, every last bit of energy was aimed at the massive alien creature. It wasn't much, but it was enough to make the One feel the sting. Nova fired the last of the ship's weapons. A massive blast shot from Whisperblade's core, aimed straight at the heart of the One. For a brief moment, it seemed to freeze in place. The blast struck its massive body, causing the creature to falter, its surface rippling with energy. But the One wasn't defeated. It wasn't even slowed. Nova knew it was over. She had done everything she could. But the One was still standing. Its vast alien presence spread across the galaxy, relentless and unstoppable. The final wave of humanity's fleet was disintegrating in its wake. And then, just when all seemed lost, something unexpected happened. The One's energy flickered. For the first time, it seemed to pause, as if confused. It wavered, and for a split second, it seemed to hesitate. Nova blinked, unsure of what she was seeing. Was it possible? And then the truth hit her. It wasn't the One that was unstoppable. It was humanity. In their final moments, the humans had fought with everything they had. Every ship, every soldier, every last breath was spent ensuring the survival of their home. The aliens had thought they could erase humanity. They thought they could extinguish Earth's will, but they were wrong. The One had met its match. In the command center, General Harris watched as the last of the battle footage was transmitted. Earth's ships had been destroyed, but their last attack had done something no one could have predicted. The One was not advancing. It was retreating. Back in the deep void of space, Nova watched as the One began to fade, its massive form slowly vanishing into the darkness. The presence that had threatened to consume everything was pulling back. The battle was over. Humanity had lost many ships. Many brave souls had fallen, but they had won. The aliens had never seen it coming. They thought humanity was weak, that they could crush the Earth and its people. But they had underestimated the one thing that no enemy could ever conquer: the will to survive. As the stars returned to their peaceful glow, General Harris stood tall, looking out at the galaxy. "We may not have won every battle," he said, "but we've won this war." The end. The war had changed. After the failed attack on the alien moon, Earth was no longer playing defense. The pain had become fuel. The anger had turned into fire. And now, that fire had a name: Black Echo. Hidden deep beneath Antarctica, in a secret base called Vault Zero, Black Echo was reactivated after 100 years of silence. It wasn't just an eye. It was a weapon built to think like a human and strike harder than any machine. Its mind moved faster than light. Its memory remembered every battle ever fought. And now it wanted one thing: to hunt the enemy that attacked its creators. General Harris stood inside the cold control room, watching as Black Echo scanned the data from the destroyed moon. No language, no pattern, no energy source, the AI said. Only hunger. Captain Rhea asked, "Can you fight something we don't understand?" Black Echo responded slowly, like tasting the question. "I don't need to understand it. I just need to end it." Harris gave the order. "Then begin. Operation Ghost Hammer is yours." Within hours, Earth's secret shipyards woke up. Under Black Echo's control, construction began on a new type of fleet. Ships that didn't shine, didn't speak, didn't show up on sensors. Silent hunters, made with dark steel, powered by echo cores, and designed with one goal: to strike without warning. These ships didn't carry thousands of crew. They carried only 3. A human pilot, a combat eye assistant, a blank core bomb, something even Harris didn't fully understand. Black Echo created the bombs using captured alien matter. When activated, the bomb didn't explode. It erased. Not fire, not light, just nothing. 3 weeks later, the first silent hunter was ready. Its name was Whisperblade. Pilot, Lieutenant Nova Quinn. She was young, quiet, and deadly. Chosen by Black Echo itself. The mission: find the nearest alien nest and erase it from space. No speeches, no backup. Just Whisperblade and the stars. Nova jumped into alien territory without warning. The ship didn't leave a signal, not even a trail. She found what looked like an old wreck, a floating piece of metal half-eaten by alien growth. But her scanners showed movement inside. She sent a silent drone. It flew in and saw something chilling. Dozens of alien shadows, floating, sleeping, or maybe waiting. She armed the bomb. "Target locked," she whispered. Back on Earth, Black Echo's voice echoed in her ear. "Do not wait. Do not think. Strike." Nova didn't hesitate. She dropped the blank core bomb and jumped back into human space. Behind her, silence. Not fire, not sound, just silence. The wreck, the aliens, the space around it, gone. Like it was never there. Earth had its first true win. And this time, nothing came back to chase them. No shapes, no voices in the head, no attacks. Just a wide, empty patch of space where death used to be. General Harris stood before the Human Council. "We have a weapon that works. We have a path forward. And we have an eye that doesn't fear the dark." The Council agreed. The Silent Hunter program was doubled. Earth was no longer just defending. Earth was hunting. But far away, deep in the unexplored sectors of the galaxy, something moved. It was not fast, not loud, but it was aware. The first real pain it had ever felt came from humanity, and now it had learned something. Humans can't be scared, only angered. Deep inside the Black Echo system, an alert flashed. Unusual movement, energy forming, a new shape in dark space. It wasn't near any planet. It was heading toward Earth. Black Echo's voice spoke across Earth's defense network. "They're not just running now. They're watching. Something bigger is coming." General Harris narrowed his eyes. "Then let them come." The silence was over. Earth had spoken, and now it was time for war. In orbit above Mars, 12 new warships floated quietly. They were part of Project Wrath, built in secret after the first colony vanished. Each ship was powered by dark core engines, faster than light, and armed with weapons no enemy had ever seen. General Harris stood aboard the flagship, Vengeance One. Soldiers lined the halls. Engineers checked systems. Pilots prepared for battle. On every screen across the human territories, a simple message appeared. "Today, we strike first." The target was clear. An old mining moon near the Elaris sector, close to where the alien ship had attacked Unity Port. Human scouts found strange readings there. Dead signals, cracked stone, and black marks that moved like oil. It was not a base. It was a nest. The fleet jumped into space like a storm. One moment, they were above Mars. The next, they were in orbit around the alien moon. The surface was wrong. Dark, pulsing like it breathed. No buildings, no machines, just a spreading mass that covered the rocks like living metal. Captain Rhea, second in command, spoke over comms. "I've never seen anything like this." General Harris nodded. "Neither have I. But it ends here." He gave the order. "Fire." The sky turned red. Missiles flew. Lasers cut through the air. Plasma bombs dropped like rain. The moon shook. The alien skin screamed, a sound not through air, but inside the minds of the crew. Ships trembled. Lights flickered. Some soldiers dropped to their knees, bleeding from the nose. "What is that?" shouted a technician. "They're screaming back," said Rhea. "In our heads." But the attack didn't stop. The firestorm continued. For 20 straight minutes, Earth's fleet burned the alien nest. When it ended, the moon was nothing but dust and ashes. The soldiers cheered. They had struck first, and struck hard. But then, something moved. From the ashes, 6 dark shapes rose into the sky. Not ships, not alive, not dead, just shapes. Each was nearly invisible, but sensors screamed warnings. The shapes moved without engines. They tore space like claws through paper. One slammed into the Viper star, a human destroyer. There was no impact, no explosion. The ship simply turned to dust. Another reached the Lancer IV, slicing through shields like they were nothing. The ship folded in half and vanished. General Harris stood frozen. "What are those things?" Rhea's voice was shaking. "They're not ships, they're weapons, or maybe the creatures themselves." "We need to pull back," said Harris. The order went out. Retreat. Only 7 ships made it out. 5 were lost. The moon was destroyed, but so were hundreds of brave humans. Back on Earth, people watched in horror as the news came in. First victory, then heavy loss. Some cried, some screamed, but others grew angry. Earth had never faced a threat like this. Something that could attack minds. Something that didn't speak, didn't ask, didn't stop. Later that night, a secret message was sent to Earth's darkest lab, Deep Sector 9. Inside it was something hidden from the public for over 100 years. A voice-only AI, banned long ago because it was built for only one thing: revenge. Its name was Black Echo. General Harris stood before the cold black cube that held the eye. "We need your help," he said. The cube responded with a low hum, then a voice like distant thunder. "If I help, you must let me lead." Harris paused, then nodded. So be it. Across the galaxy, humans were no longer afraid. They were angry. And the aliens? They had never faced a species like this. A species that gets stronger when attacked. A species that strikes harder when hurt. A species that does not forget. With a final push, he drove the blade straight through Iron Voice's chest, ending the reign of the man who had tried to destroy everything he loved. Outside, the station's lights flickered. Rain stood over the fallen High Lord, his breath steady. The battle was over. But the war was just beginning. Rain stood still, his breathing heavy. The body of Iron Voice lay at his feet. The leader of the Trade Council was no longer a threat. The galaxy's power balance had shifted. But Rain didn't feel victorious. He felt empty. He had gotten his revenge. He had avenged the death of so many innocent people, including his daughter. But that didn't bring them back. The sound of footsteps echoed through the chamber. Rain didn't turn around. He knew who it was. Kira appeared in the doorway, her holographic form shimmering as she materialized. "The mission is complete. Iron Voice is dead." Rain didn't respond. He just stared at the fallen High Lord, lost in thought. "We should leave before reinforcements arrive," Kira added. "The Council will send everything they have to destroy you." Rain finally spoke, his voice rough. "I don't care." Kira hesitated. "Rain, your daughter, Elia. She's alive, but she's been hurt. You need to get back to Earth." Rain's head snapped up. "What? Her recovery is slow. She needs you." He closed his eyes, taking a deep breath. Elia. His mind flashed back to the memory of her whispering his name, her tiny, weak voice calling out for him. "All right," Rain said, his voice soft but filled with determination. "Take us home." Back on Earth, Rain's ship entered the atmosphere, the familiar sights of his home planet greeting him like a warm embrace. But everything felt different now. The war was far from over. The Tree Council would be furious. They would send fleets to hunt him down, to wipe out everything he had done. And the rest of the galaxy, they wouldn't forgive what he had done. But none of that mattered to Rain. All that mattered now was his daughter. As he entered the hospital room, Rain's heart ached. Elia lay unconscious, connected to various machines. Her face was pale, her breathing shallow. It hurt him to see her like this, but he was grateful she was alive. Kira's hologram flickered beside him. The doctors say she'll recover, but it will take time. Rain nodded. I'll wait. He sat by her bedside, holding her hand. The world outside could burn for all he cared. His mission was over. He had avenged the people of New Aurora. He had destroyed the Trade Council's corruption. But the true victory, the one that mattered, was Elia's survival. Days passed in silence. Rain barely left Elia's side. He refused to leave until he knew she would be all right. One day, as the sun set outside, Elia stirred. Her eyes fluttered open, and she blinked, confused at first. "Dad." Her voice was weak, but she smiled when she saw him. Rain's heart lifted. He squeezed her hand. "I'm here, Elia. I'm here." Did you stop them?" she asked quietly. Rain smiled softly. "Yes, I did." Elia's face turned serious. "Did you do what you promised?" Rain didn't hesitate. "I did. I made sure they couldn't hurt anyone again." She nodded slowly, clearly tired. "Good. I knew you would." Rain's eyes softened. "You don't need to worry about that anymore. You're safe now." Elia closed her eyes, her hand resting in his. "Thank you, Dad." As she drifted off to sleep, Rain looked out the window. The battle might have been won, but the war was far from over. The galaxy had felt his wrath, and now it would never be the same. The cryo chamber opened with a loud hiss. Steam filled the dark room. Inside, the man stepped out slowly. His name was Commander Rain Carter, but long ago, the military had given him another name, Project Revenant. His body was not normal anymore. Years of secret experiments had changed him. His muscles were stronger than steel. His bones could heal in minutes. His senses were sharper than any machine. He was the perfect soldier, made for war, trained to kill, and built to survive anything. But after the last war, he had asked to be frozen. He wanted peace. He wanted to raise his daughter, Elia, far away from blood and fire. Now she was hurt. Now he was awake. Two soldiers watched him from behind a glass wall. One whispered, "He's awake. After 12 years. Why did they activate him?" The other asked. A general walked in, face pale. "Because someone attacked New Aurora. They hurt his daughter." The room fell silent. The soldiers looked at each other. One finally said, "God help whoever did it." Rain stood in the middle of the black chamber. His mind felt like fire. Memories rushed back. Battlefields, explosions, screams. But only one thing mattered now. Elia. He looked at the nearest security camera. "Where is she?" A voice answered through the speaker. "She's at Earth Medical Central. Stable, but hurt badly." Rain's fists clenched. "Who did it?" "We're still tracking them," the voice said. "Unknown mercenaries. No flags. No transmissions. It wasn't just an attack. It was a message." Rain's voice dropped. "Then let me answer it." The voice hesitated. "You were frozen for a reason. The council voted to keep you locked away. If you leave this facility." Rain turned toward the wall. Without warning, he charged. His body smashed through the steel like paper. Alarms began to scream. Red lights flashed. "He's breaching containment," a guard shouted. Rain didn't stop. He moved like a ghost, breaking doors, dodging weapons, knocking out guards with a single hit. He didn't kill them. They were just doing their job. But nothing would stop him now. In the weapons vault, he found his old armor, jet black, made from a rare alloy. Still sealed, still perfect. His personal AI, Kira, booted up in his helmet. "Welcome back, Commander," the AI said. "You look angry." "I am." "Target everyone who hurt her." Rain moved to the hangar. A line of ships waited under lock. He scanned them all and pointed to one. "That one." The AI spoke. Stealth-class recon ship, fast, invisible to most scans, armed with plasma torpedoes. Not meant for war. Rain stepped inside. "It is now." Within seconds, the ship roared to life. He flew it out of the hangar at full speed. The defense system tried to stop him, but the ship was too fast. It vanished into space. In Earth's command tower, generals watched the screen in silence. "He's gone," one said. Another sighed. "And whoever he's hunting, they don't stand a chance." Inside the stealth ship, Rain sat alone. The stars moved fast around him. His eyes were cold. His heart was full of fire. He opened Elia's last message. Her voice was soft. "Hi, Dad. I miss you. I saved my drawing for you. Come home soon, okay?" Rain closed his eyes. A tear rolled down his cheek, but only one. He whispered, "I will make them pay." Then, louder, "Kira, find them." The AI answered, "Tracking enemy energy signature from New Aurora debris. Match found. Slave ship registered as the Black Maw. Currently in Deep Space Sector X-92. Rain nodded. "Set course. Maximum speed." The AI said, "Confirmed. But Commander, one man against a mercenary army." Rain's voice was calm, deadly. "They're not ready for me."